So they're starting to get them into grid order now. Brad Philpott moving to the front. He's going to be taking up the pole position. Of course, he's been followed by Richard Jute. Now, Richard Jute, the South African, he's got many years of experience, all kinds of racing, cars and karts. Sort of shot from nowhere to a couple of wins in the heats, but did get a disqualification a couple of years ago. Really, I think he's got to be somebody to watch, Richard Jute there, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, he was blisteringly quick yesterday. We watched him in practice, and he was flying around like nobody's business. He's going to, I'd say, one person who's going to be very disappointed with that is Sam Spinell. 7th position. Sam is really one of my picks this year to do something special, and that certainly is not the right way to go about it. 7th position, but here we go. We're ready for the start now, it looks.
And if anyone's going to do something special, it would be Sam Spinell. He's really capable of moving up through this field. However, it is very strong in front of him. It's going to be very interesting to watch. So Sam Spinell there, starting in 7th place. He will feel he's massively down the order, but we'll see what happens. Well, we're ready there. We can see Brad Philpott in the number 12 ahead of Richard Jute in the 9. Philpott, of course, is going to lead them round. So they're moving forward now. They're going to be taking the start. Now, Brad Philpott, he's the one who dictates the pace here. He's going to be coming around, and when will he hit the go button? He's on it now. He's got Richard Jute right on his tail now. And there's Ryan Smith. There's a little bit of a gap there. But the first 3 are pulling away. That's Brad Philpott into the Snell section. Is Jute going to go at him early? No, he's not. He's following. Brad Philpott's coming out the Snell section with the lead. Richard Jute and Ryan Smith already a kart length lead there over, it looks like, Adrian Zuzewski. And here comes Sam Spinell. He's chasing down the 2 poles. And this is where Sam Spinell is really going to have to do some work, and probably very early on. He's going to make a move early into the section here. We've got him on screen there going into this turn. There's Brad Philpott on screen there in the lead. And Richard Jute right behind him. A very clean start indeed, Steve.
Yeah, fantastic. And it just feels like yesterday. Brilliant stuff. All the cars bobbling down the back straight there, all looking like lotto balls. I wanted to be picked. Fantastic stuff. And it is Bradley Philpott, as you say, taking the early lead. Richard Jute looking good behind. And those top 3 just starting to eke away now from 4th place, Adrian Zalewski. But they're both there. It's Brad Philpott, Richard Jute and Ryan Smith.
Well, Brad Philpott, of course, the series instigator. He started this series way back at the end of 2010. 2011 was the first time the championship was run, a multi-round format then. Brad Philpott now leading his own championship, and he has, of course, twice been in the top 10 in this format. Sam Spinell into the pits. Now, this is crucial. Sam Spinell clearly feels that he's been held up by those in front of him. He can get a clearer run and a faster run with no one around him. So, most people, I believe, will be aiming to pit late, but Sam Spinell is taking the early pit stop. 41, 42 seconds for a lap time, maybe, will be what he's looking for on his pit stop lap. Sam Spinell, though, yeah, well, he has dropped a bit of time. Maybe, though, looking at the times of the other cars, 2 seconds down, generally on lap times for the testing yesterday, would suggest that Spinell, in real terms, has put in a 43 seconds by some kind of equivalency, if you look at it that way, Steve. So, probably not the end of the world for Sam, but I'm sure he'd have liked to have been a little bit quicker through the pits there.
Yeah, he looked like he was disappointed with himself. He pulled into the first one, there was a shake of the head, and, you know, it's not going very well at the start, but now he's got a clear track. You know, we'll see what he can do, but look at those top 3. Richard Jute, here comes Richard. He's coming right behind Bradley Philpott now, and Richard will be loving this. If he can try and stick with Philpott, it'll be a good to maybe leapfrog him on the pit stops, and Ryan Smith as well. You know, I mean, we know Ryan Smith is quick, of course, a podium finisher in the British 24 hours. In 2013, he actually finished 5th, so he got through to the final, Ryan Smith. Very quick driver, so it'll be interesting to see how these 3 pan out.
Absolutely, the Scotsman there in 3rd place, that's Ryan Smith, and he really is showing very well. Staying with these 2 leaders clearly means business for 2019, as always, and obviously with such success in the long distance races, he's clearly in for the long haul, and Ryan Smith there is going to be just as strong at the end of the championship as at the beginning, as shown by his success in long distance racing. But it really is a tight one for the lead here. We've got really a kart length between them, just Brad Philpott leading the way. I'm sure he's going as fast as he can.
Slavik Piskor's in the pit.
Slavik Piskor's has taken an early pit stop as well. He, of course, was behind Rob Duma there, and maybe he's going to come out in front or behind Sam Spinell. We'll see. This is going to be a bit crucial for Sam Spinell. Spinell will have been wanted to leapfrog Piskor's, because Piskor's is one of the very people that he was trying to drive himself around through the pits there, Steve.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what a pit stop by Slavik Piskor's. He got that absolutely nailed. He pulled in at the first green light and he set off before it changed. That was absolutely spot on. A 43.9, and like you say, he's got himself in front of Sam Spinell. But just have a look. Sam Spinell already making his intentions. Someone else in the pits. It's Rob Duma.
It's Rob Duma indeed. And And Rob Duma is going to be coming out right amongst the Spinel and Piscor's battle, and they have actually touched. In fact, Spinel has gone through ahead. Here comes Duma, and Spinel is actually having to fight his way through the traffic that he was hoping to pit stop himself around. Well, he's got past Piscor's. He's going to try and make ground on Duma while Duma's still building up speed after a pit stop. Steve, it's not worked from a pit stop point of view from Spinel, but he's certainly got the raceness to actually do something here.
He made a cracking move there on Slavik. I just saw it out the corner of my eye, down at the bottom corner. It was a real late lunge up the inside, but Rob and Slavik were having a fantastic battle before the pit stops anyway. They both come in a lap apart, obviously trying to regain that battle. Slavik trying to leapfrog Rob, but now Sam Spinel is right in the middle of them. It's a Polish sandwich, isn't it, on
it certainly is.
Sam Spinel, but he'll be loving it.
With the Belgian-British dual national in the middle of it. Sam Spinel, of course, was trying to pit stop his way around the problem, ended up smack in the middle of it, but it seems as though he's having to race his way through. He's all over Rob Duma now, and it's going to be another outrageous lunge potentially at the end of the straight there by Sam Spinel. Now on screen we've got Brad Philpott, and Brad Philpott's coming under increasing attack from Richard Jute there. Richard Jute is starting to press home his attack on the lead. Ryan Smith has maybe kind of dropped back half a car length for what that's worth, but certainly Richard Jute is now pressing Philpott. Philpott looking behind as they go down the back stretch there, heading into this tight turn where we saw the outrageous lunge by Sam Spinel to take position there from Slavik Piscor's. It worked for him. Richard Jute is not trying the same thing yet though. Will he pit his way around Brad, or is he going to try and race his way around? That's going to be the question. Smith is now back on the tail of Jute, and Jute obviously has got to be a little bit careful, because if he makes a move on Philpott that doesn't come off, he could find himself bundled to third.
I can't see any of those top three making a pit stop as yet. They've got a good lead over Adrian Zalewski, so I can't, they seem to be pulling each other along. There's no need for any of them really to pit at the moment. Richard Duke doesn't appear like he's getting held up behind Philpott. Dropped a little bit behind there on that lap, but done a small mistake possibly at the top of the circuit, and Philpott gets a bit of a breather, but then within half a lap Duke is right on his tail again. So it was business as you were, but those top three definitely a good lead over Adrian Zalewski. Mike Seaborn running in a good fifth there. He's a bit on his own, kart number 18, and then Gavin Williams. Sean McGrath, again Sean doing okay at the moment. He's there in 7th position, but it's this great battle. Look at between and look, Sam Spinel has passed Duma. Sam Spinel has got past Rob and Slavik, so Slavik and Rob can resume their battle, albeit 2 positions lower than what they were. But yeah, good move from Sam Spinel. He is slowly getting his way to the front, James. Absolutely.
On screen now, we've got Brad Philpott with the lead, and there's Richard Jute, the South African, really starting to press home his attacks now. He's working hard on the back of Philpott. Now, Philpott, I'm sure, is driving as fast as he physically can. He's holding the lead. He's got 2 very good drivers behind him, and it's going to be particularly difficult from here on in for Philpott. He seems like he's got the measure of them at the moment, but once they start beginning to get impatient, he's going to get increasingly defensive. Sean McGrath in the pits. Now, will he fall behind the Spinel, Duma and Piscor's battle? That's what they will be hoping. And of course, here comes Sean McGrath. He's coming out the pits there. There we see him on screen. And in fact, it's a bit of a sort of lone one. He has been leapfrogged quite comfortably, as it happens, by that battling early pit stoppers. So Sean McGrath resumes in his position, which of course is at the moment now down to 10th place. But there are a number in front of him who have not pitted. So on screen now, we're seeing through the exit of the Snell section. There's Philpott with the lead, and Philpott is holding on to his lead. You can see he's holding it very tight through the turns. This is on the top part of the track, heading down the backstretch now. And Richard Jute is really, he's run wide there. He's run wide, almost tapped the barrier. It hasn't cost him any time, but it surely will have given Ryan Smith some kind of inspiration to start having a go. Smith running in third there, the Scotsman. We know he can do it. He's been right up at the front, 5th place before in the BRKC, especially at a multi-venue event. He has one on the indoor as well. So Ryan Smith there in third just cannot be discounted. He's very quick, and he's starting to look at South African Jute.
Tell you what, you could throw a blanket over all 3 of these, couldn't you? Mind your manners, please, boys. Fantastic racing by all 3 of them. Philpott seems to just not be able to get round this corner. He seems to clip the barriers nearly every lap round there, and Richard Jute just gets that little bit closer. But then round the back of the circuit, that's where Philpott seems to be at his strongest, and he's able to just pull that gap a little bit again. But Jute very close this time. You expect him to make a lunge into that second corner at some point, but he's just maybe not been close enough as yet. But those 3, fantastic battle.
Adrian Zalewski comes out of the pits there, and he's come out in front of Slavik Piscor's and Rob Duma. And yeah, these positions are starting to cycle their way through now. Sam Spinel up to 4th. Now, Sam Spinel is going to be trying to make inroads on the 3 leaders. He's already absolutely marvellous up from 7th place because he's 4th and he's pitted. So anybody else, oh, there's a pit stopper. It looks like Ryan Smith. Is that Ryan Smith in the pits? Yes, it is. The 15 there of Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith coming out to the pits. How far ahead of Spinell is he? Comfortably ahead of Spinell. Spinell, though, will probably be able to look across the track and see him, and he knows now how much ground he has to make up. Time-wise, well, Spinell is running very fast indeed. He has got the fastest lap of the race at the moment, and so Spinell, if he just keeps those fast laps coming, but look at Richard Jute. He's almost pushing Philpott through the turns there. They're going to cross the line again. A little look over the shoulder there by the leader, Philpott. That's Richard Jute behind him with the white helmet there and the black suit. Coming down the backstretch, well, that's the two poles. That's Piscourse and Doomer. Piscourse following Doomer at the moment. And then, of course, behind them is Mike Seaborn. There's Philpott and Richard Jute. They're coming onto the backstretch now, but look at Richard Jute. Now, is he going to make a move down the backstretch? He's not close enough, but they're catching up to the back market. That's Sean McGrath in front of them. Now, how much of a factor will Sean be? Richard Jute running very wide out of the hairpin there. Here comes Philpott and Jute. Philpott in the pits, yes. Jute now takes the lead, and Jute is going to be looking to pass. It just almost feels a little bit slow there by Philpott.
This has to be on point. He has to get this nailed. And here comes Ryan Smith. He's going to get out in front of Ryan Smith, but again, Ryan is going to be right behind him. Good pit stop by Philpott, a lot of pressure there, but he did well. He came out and he got the lap time, and he's in front now of Ryan Smith. It all depends, doesn't it, where Richard Jute's going to come out. If I was Richard now, clear track, he's got past Sean McGrath. Fair play to Sean, he's led him through, but this is where Richard now really starts to nail the lap times. He's got 10 minutes left of the race. He needs to stay out there and get those lap times done.
Well, if Richard Jute wants to win this race, he's under massive pressure to set the lap times now. At the moment, of course, we'd expect him to come out right in the middle of that Philpott and Smith battle, which is not where he wants to be, because that's the whole point of pitting. He was trying to drive around them. He had a couple of little looks at Philpott, but nothing that was really going. So he has to really put in the lap times now and hope that he can come out of the pits with the lead and therefore the race win, because all the leaders are pit stop now. We're just waiting for Richard Jute. Now, interestingly, as we look on screen, we've sort of seen a bit of an overview here. There's Richard Jute coming through that final turn. So there's Jute. There's McGrath, who we saw him put a lap down. Now, the next bit is the Philpott, Smith and Spinell. Now, let's have a look at this. There's Philpott coming through the hairpin now. There's Smith on the hairpin. And there is Sam Spinell. Sam Spinell is still the fastest. Yes, he is. He's still the fastest. The lap times are really coming down now. They've made up over a second on the lap times they were doing at the beginning of the race, and Sam Spinell's the one who's setting them. Can he close in on the leaders and make this a four-way fight for the lead? Still no Richard Jute in the pits yet. He's still sat down there in the lead. In fact, he's passing the pit entry now, so he's not going to pit this time. He continues on in the lead. Not that long to go now, but Richard Jute 20 laps in and has a nice lead there, which he's trying to build on. We'll really see the situation when he's come out in the pits. Steve, what's your betting here? Do you think, by the looks of things, Jute has done enough? I mean, obviously, Spinell really is the danger man, closing in on that group.
Well, we have a look at the times. The gap between Jute and Philpott is 10.7 seconds. We say, don't we, that if time to come in, get a decent pit stop is about 10 seconds. So looking at that, 10.7, if he was to come in now, you'd have to say, on paper, theoretically, he could leapfrog Bradley Philpott. However, like you say, Sam Spinell, 32.518, the new fastest lap for the race. He is certainly the man to watch, and he is closing. Look at him as he comes through. That gap is so much visibly less than it was a few laps ago, and Sam Spinell definitely closing in on this Ryan Smith-Philpott battle.
And that's Spinell on screen now in the Snell section there. European lean, very much European style of driver. He is dual nationality, so when he's doing well, he's British. When he's not doing so well, he's Belgian. At the moment, he's very much British because he's really turning those times in. And you can see ahead, that's the ones he's chasing. That's Philpott and Smith. Sam Spinell, one of the fastest out there, been on the international scene for many years now. Sam Spinell, never to be discounted. 7th place start for him just means the beginning of the action when it comes to a race. So there's Spinell over the finish line into the Snell section once more. You can see that leaning out was trying to break the grip of the inside rear wheel there to allow the car to sort of rotate a little in the corner. Philpott doing the same. Much more upright position there, and you can see there Spinell as he came through, definitely leaning out a little bit more than the others. This is onto the back straight. There's Spinell, that European lean going on, and he's closing in. Surely he's closing in. He's still the fastest one out there, and Spinell coming through towards the end of the lap there. There's Spinell Philpott and Smith are crossing the line, and now Spinell is over the line too. So still no Richard Jute in the pits. He's hanging on out there in the lead. And there's Philpott and Smith, and there's Spinell. Spinell visibly closer now. Can he make this a four-way fight, Steve? I think this could be on.
It's definitely going to be on. Sam Spinell is flying. He's really, really getting close. And I'll tell you something, Richard Jute, the gap is now 11 seconds, him to Philpott. So, to me, that's enough. He could come in now if he gets a good stop and come out ahead of this battle. The problem Philpott has is he's now concentrating behind on Ryan Smith. And, of course, there's someone you don't want behind is Ryan Smith. We know how quick he is. And so now this is why he's gapping. It was 11.1. It's just gone up again. So Richard Jute is doing the right thing. He's staying out there, building that gap. And genuinely, he should come out, if everything goes to plan, in front of this battle.
Well, that's absolutely right, and that, Steve, and that is exactly what Richard Jute will be thinking about. He's just sitting there. He's still not come in. He's completing another lap. He's going to leave it out as long as he can. But look at this on screen. There's Philpott, there's Smith, and there's Sam Spinell. Spinell is definitely closing in on these two. Philpott doing his formidable best. Ryan Smith doing his equally formidable best. But here comes Sam Spinell closing in on the pair of them. Now, Spinell surely is going to make this a four-way fight for the lead and the win, of course, at the end. But you've got Richard Jute is going to come out, and where is he going to come out in this? If he makes a bit of a blunder, oh, and there's someone waving them through. It's Gavin Williams. Gavin Williams has seen them coming through. He's, well, very sportsman-like there. He really is a sportsman there. Yeah, absolutely. Now he's let the lead two through. What's going to happen with Spinell? Has Williams seen him? No, he hasn't. Yes, he has. He's just at the end there, but to be honest with you, that was the kind of unstoppable end. It's Jute in the pits. Jute leaves the pits, and Jute's in the lead. Now, look at this. Jute has position, but Philpott and Smith and Spinell have momentum. Are they going to be all over him? It's into the Snell section.
Oh,
Philpott goes for the lead.
What a move. Philpott, that was a fantastic lunge up the inside. Completely caught Richard Jute off guard there.
Spinell to third.
Oh, wow, it's all kicking off now. Brilliant racing. Fantastic. I can't believe that lunge that Philpott made on Jute. Jute just was not expecting it. Down the back straight now. Look at Richard Jute. He's pushing Bradley Philpott as they go around. Sam Spinell. Ryan Smith has the door. There's contact. It's fantastic stuff. And Philpott back in the lead. Sam Spinell now up to third place. He's behind Richard Jute. 1, 2 and 3. Ryan Smith, now he must be thinking he's dropped 20 quid and picked up sixpence. He was in second place a lap ago. And now he's down to fourth. Brilliant stuff. Jute hitting Philpott. Spinell up the inside. Brilliant move from Sam Spinell. Ryan Smith trying to capitalise. Richard Jute could really lose out here.
Three wide.
There's contact. It was always going to happen. Sam Spinell gets pushed out wide. And who's this coming up the inside? It's now Ryan Smith back up into second place. What? It's all action, James.
Oh, absolutely, and so much so that the back marker there, it looks like Gavin Williams, I believe, was actually caught up in the fight. He couldn't help but retake position. So Philpott now has a healthy lead. There was 3 wide action coming out the Snell there, and poor old Sam Spinell got bundled in the wall, but what a race by Sam Spinell. He's shown what he can do, but Philpott now has the healthiest lead we've seen. Unhealthy second place, though, is Ryan Smith, who Richard Jute is really working on now. All these 3 behind that were involved in that kind of pushing and shoving business that allowed Philpott to get away. They're going to be wanting to make up that time there. They're not going to be wanting to sit with each other. Look at that. Over to the left there. On screen, of course, was Ryan Smith, and Ryan Smith showing that he's getting very defensive now with Richard Jute. That was not a I'm looking to get first, I'm keeping second kind of move, that. Richard Jute, though, is going to make an attack into the Snell section, surely, because as they come to the tight part, there's Philpott in the tight part, but here comes Ryan Smith's got him covered, hasn't he? But Sam Spinell's coming back at the pair of them. There's the 2 back markers. They are a lap down, but look at this, a 3-way fight for third. Sam Spinell on the tail of that. He was second. He's now fourth. There they are. Ryan Smith leading Richard Jute in obviously second, third, and now fourth for Sam Spinell. Ryan Smith being very defensive to the inside there, and really, I think this is game over for the lead. It's all about saying, but look, oh, Richard Jute looked like he was going to have a look down the right-hand side of Smith. Not really a known passing place, but at this stage, he's going to try anything, isn't he? And will he try it in the Snell section? No, Smith has got it covered. Well, there's Ryan Smith coming out of the Snell. This is where all the action happened earlier. Sam Spinell's on the tail of the pair of them. Look at that.
Fantastic stuff. All 3 of them, like I say, throw a blanket over all 3 of them. Watch for Sam Spinell, because he's now going to try and make a move on Richard Jute. Lunges to the outside line. You ain't going to get past there, Sam. Oh, but he makes a great dart up the inside. Again, fantastic bit of racing. What a move from Sam Spinell. Great move. Again, such last minute. Richard Jute was not expecting it. Like we say, Richard, he lives near the circuit. He knows the circuit like the back of his hand. That was a fantastic late lunge by Sam Spinell. Again, shows he's come from 7th position. He's now up to 3rd. And that Ryan Smith, he's going to have to be on his game now, because Sam Spinell looks hungry.
Yeah, Sam Spinell looking very racy there in now 3rd place. He's making moves where people have been kind of a little bit thoughtful about doing it this early on. Ryan Smith immediately to the defensive, but here comes Sam Spinell. Sam Spinell has just got such epic speed there. I can really see this being second for Sam Spinell. It's just a question of time. Not long to go left in this race now, but there's Ryan Smith fending off Sam Spinell. Richard Dute's coming back at them. The South African there, he does live in Milton Keynes these days. The South African Dute, he was second, he's now fourth. There he is, third in your screen there. Here comes Brad Philpott, the leader, and then it's going to be Ryan Smith. There's Smith, but there's Sam Spinell now. We know Smith is going to get defensive down the backstretch, which they're entering now, but Spinell's going to take the normal line, and will he then flip across to the inside? He's actually to the outside. He's trying to get across, but Smith blocks that one out. Epic battle there for second place, Steve.
That's fantastic. You could watch this all day, couldn't you? What a great race. And now Richard Dute is back on the tail of all three of them. And you can imagine Richard's probably not very happy about that move from before. So is there a bit of payback here? Ryan Smith needs to hold the inside line. He does so well there. Every lap he's on the inside. There's not even an inch for
anybody.
Sam Spinell to get through. It's such a, I could say, fantastic battle. I think Richard Duke could capitalise on this because I think Sam Spinell is going to try. He's gone to the outside. Is he going to come back again? Bit of contact. Sam Spinell ends up. It was a move that he tried. I don't know what he's throwing his arms up about. You know, well, end of the day, mate, you've got to make the move. You've got to make it clean. But Ryan Smith doing his job, making it defensive, and he's making it hard for Sam Spinell to even have a chance.
It was Spinell doing the waving, and of course when you're in Richard Duke's position and you can see them battling ahead and somebody's getting defensive and another's taking the normal line, if you're in Richard Duke's position, it's a case of which one do you pick? Who do you think will come out in the lead? You'll try and follow them through. So Richard Duke in fourth place, third on screen. And there's Ryan Smith defensive again. There's Sam Spinell making another move, or trying to the outside. He's cut back to the inside now, and it's crisscrossing this way and that. Sam Spinell on screen there. You can see how there's absolutely nothing in it. That's second, that's third, that's fourth. And Ryan Smith now entering the Snell section. Surely Sam Spinell is going to get increasingly desperate. Smith trying to cover everything. Sam Spinell taking the more sort of normal line, and Richard Duke thinking about which one he's going to try and capitalise on. Richard Duke, there is no question, he's got second in his mind. So is Sam Spinell, and so is Ryan Smith. They're coming down the backstretch. Smith to the inside. He's defending very hard, and we're coming round. It's going to be the finish now. Here's Philpott to take the win.
But look at that Spinell! Richard Duke!
Richard Duke takes third. Spinell loses
contact. It's all contact.
Spinell takes it back. Spinell takes it, and there's contact with the back marker. Oh my goodness. Zajewski there was the back marker, caught up in the mix. It's Philpott for the win of the opening race there. Zanussi nearly, unbelievably, Zanussi took third. We thought he was a lap down, but actually Zanussi was in the mix there and has pulled himself from nowhere to take third. Incredible performance there by Adrian Zajewski, and he has actually unthinkably gained third. There's the winner, Philpott. There's second, Ryan Smith. We thought he was a lap down, but he wasn't. He literally came from nowhere there. Adrian Zajewski, he's in the blue helmet. We'll see him on screen in a second. So there's Philpott coming in. They've got obviously the weight checks just to certify the result, but at the moment, provisionally, we've got a win for series organised there. Number 12, Brad Philpott. Second is Ryan Smith there. He's in the red suit and the white helmet. Sam Spinell was not third despite coming in third. He was fourth. And it's Zajewski there with the blue helmet, the number 8. There he is in. Well, he might be happy because, gosh, he's come from absolutely nowhere. We haven't spoken about him all race hardly. No. And there he is in third place now. Steve, where did Zajewski come from?
A fantastic bit of driving there from Zajewski. He completely took Mr. Opportunism, I think we should call him now, because that was a real, just like you say, out of nothing. And like you see, grinning away there, third place. Very well deserved. But Bradley Philpott, you know, was it to be expected? He ended up with a 4-second lead. You wouldn't have said that when halfway through the race, because all three of them were so close together. And of course, after Richard Duke managed to leapfrog in the pit stop, to end up in 5th, he isn't going to be very happy with that, but Bradley Philpott taking the win, Ryan Smith in 2nd and Zajewski in 3rd. Sam Spinell, he ended up in 4th position, didn't he, just ahead of Richard Duke. And then the two Polish, Rob Duma and Slavik Piscors, they had a great race, thanks for the action, boys. Mike Seaborn, he finished in 8th position ahead of Gavin Williams and Sean McGrath in 10th.